I hate to break the fishing news after Ramchuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Expect a spicy Chris Chalmers because he just looked in the fridge and there were no beers.
They have a beer cooler sitting out there full of Bud and Bud Lights. They have an ice machine downstairs. 2 weeks in a row.
We have an elevator
We
connecting
can't
the
put
ice
the puzzle
machine.
together to get some
There's
ice
an elevator
in said cooler.
up. You don't have to take a stair.
What do you think? We just drink on the job all day?
Chris does.
Well, Thursday afternoons we sure have.
Air traffic controllers do.
Thursday at 1 o'clock. Thursday at 1:30. Same time every day. Same time every week. I mean, just like the everyday show. Where there's every day.
Can't even get the name of that show, right?
Whatever.
But, all right.
Go out there and put the fear of Chalmers into someone. And
No.
say, if you don't have these beers cold,
It's okay. We
your
can go.
head will roll down 90th Street north.
If everybody's like me, you had a few last night anyways, and are feeling good, dusty, but still really good. The vibes are high.
Yeah.
After a super strong game.
I feel like somebody who drank 2 bottles of wine last night.
We're also running a 6-man pod for the first half of this bad boy because Captain Felton's in the building.
The captain.
Hey, everybody.
Woo, let's go.
Where you were one of those people who's feeling a little dusty this morning.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd bring in some donut party for everybody.
Donut party?
Yeah.
It's out there.
Well, BM hit a big bet, so he had to bring in donuts. And then the captain brought more donuts. So it's donut day.
Yeah.
Nothing for you, Alki. Hey?
I know.
Piss warm
Yeah.
beer.
We're drunk on donuts,
The
buddy.
rest of us are living like kings.
Yeah, you could have went and had yourself a donut.
Who the hell wants a donut right now?
Oh, I just had half.
I want
one.
a
It was
Bud Light.
delish.
Or a Budweiser. Yeah, I've been known to have a warm one, but you know what?
It's very, very Euro, very British to drink warm beer.
I think you should just drink it.
like
Man or a mouse?
local Englishman Liam Horban heats up his beer.
Yeah, he prefers it that way.
The staler, the better, they say.
Okay, I'm going to do it then.
He just
A
drank-
warm one.
He just opened up a set beer. That's a prop.
We're not on video today.
Chalmers, that's not even real beer.
Tastes like real beer.
But heavy.
Bud Heavy. Yeah, I went with the Bud Heavy over the Bud Light.
A nice warm.
Not for any political reason, just because it's the one I just grabbed, okay? Let's not get weird about it already.
Alrighty. Oilers get a big win last night. To me, watching them play that well in game 4 makes me even more frustrated because
It's so fucking annoying. It's so annoying. They're so good when they play good.
yeah.
It's like, that was such a great game for so many reasons.
If you had to put a pinpoint on the difference between game 1 and 3 versus game 2 and 4, and you had to sum it up in one sentence, what would it be? Because
One word, effort.
is it yeah?
Simplify.
Yeah.
They were playing simple hockey again last night, and it works.
I just feel like effort's too easy to say to professional athletes. Like,
Well, was there effort in game 3?
And I'll say engagement.
I believe that engagement. I believe that when those things start coming easier for you because you're getting bounces because of your engagement and your effort level, that things become mentally a little easier. And so that I believe to be a big reason why the games were so different.
We were the hitters and not the hitties.
In 1 and 3, we couldn't stick handle with the puck. They were getting sticks on pucks. That shit gets frustrating, when we just cannot even get control. And last night, we had all the control. We had the cycles. Every line was cycling it down low,
Great cycles.
making it look simple. It was like Jekyll and
McLeod
Hyde.
line, man. McLeod line was just
Just
busting
going to say
their
that.
asses.
They were flying last night.
Clean was just... White Cloud tried to hit him. He blew him up.
There's a lot to talk about the game.
Chalmers, what about fucking Steve Urkel?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's
that
what
was
I want
awesome.
to talk about. Who gives a shit?
So what? Walk me through the interview, because I'm watching this on Twitter, and I'm
Let
like...
me walk you through how it went for me, because things moved very quickly. Remember, I'm coming off a coronation high, right? So I'm already still buzzing, right?
I guess.
All of a sudden, there's a photo of Jaleel White in an Oilers jersey in front of a wine rack. I don't look and go, oh, that's Rogers Place. I go, wow, Urkel took a photo in a McDavid jersey. Like, why? I don't know. And I'm watching Twitter, and then all of a sudden, he's on with Gene. But he goes on with Gene, and he gives this super weird answer. They're like, well, like, why are you here? And he's just like,
Legacy.
Look at, and he like
Legacy.
gestures to the crowd. He's like, how could I not? My friend Sam. And then Gene goes, Sam? And then he's like, huh? And then they like look at each other. And then he goes, oh, I'm here to see my boy Evander Kane. And Gene's like, oh. He's like, I love how he handles the wood. And Gene's like, what? And this is just a strange ass interview. So I do not know why Urkel's in town at all. But it
So
wasn't.
why would he's wearing a McDavid jersey? How come he's not wearing a Kane jersey? That's his boy.
None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Maybe he's working on a secret project.
Who knows? Maybe he's the new Bond. He doesn't want the word to fall out this way. But he was at the game, could not explain why he was at the game. But then they put him on the scoreboard for the long lost guy. This was unbelievable. So what's the difference between game 2 and game 4? There was 0 Steve Urkels at game 2 to my knowledge, and there was at least 1 at game 4.
The way that I took it was that like him and Kane are friends from Kane's time in Southern California or something
Who's Sam?
Who is Sam?
Who is Sam?
I am Sam.
We got to go on Twitter. Everybody was asking. No one knew the answers.
I think I like Wanye's recount of the interview more than the actual interview itself.
He was also jacked. And then I fell down the rabbit hole of what happened to Jaleel White. Totally lost track of the game.
What happened to Jaleel White?
He hasn't blown his money at all. For a while, he was the highest paid actor on TV in the mid-90s when he was Urkel. Like, he had strong representation. He's never had any scandals. He's never done anything. This one article is literally like, don't laugh at Steve Urkel. Jaleel White's done well. Like, come on. So maybe he's going to buy an NHL team.
He's going to throw his hat into the ring with every other famous person for the
To bat
Oilers.
solo
Didn't
purchase.
Snoop wear a Oilers jersey in the video?
What? No, he wore a
stage.
Pittsburgh Penguin, I know
jersey.
that. On stage, but not just in Edmonton.
I think in just in Edmonton. But he also like danced around on live.
Oilers jerseys in music videos.
Isn't 50 Cent or something?
There's been a
was
few.
wearing a hat. Yeah, he had an Oilers hat.
50
on.
Cent had like an NHL deal where I think he did photo shoots in all the gear. Which is smart.
Yeah.
Go Blue Jackets. Nice Blue Jacket hat on 50.
Captain Felton, you're in town. You're joining us for the front half of the pod. What'd you make of the antics last night and how spicy things got?
Well, so I was at the Moss Pit. And there
What was that like? I haven't been yet this year.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They've like you get your little wristband or whatever, prove you're 18, and then once you get in there, you're not getting out. So that was kind of a little bit of a
It's like no
toss-up.
re-entry?
No
Like
re-entry.
you leave,
but
you
you could
go.
get it cut off and come back in. So-
Your arm?
exactly, full arm gone.
So if it's busy, you're not leaving. But
No.
what
They
he
got
said
everything.
was,
They got food and drinks and
they got food
bathrooms
and
in there,
drinks,
right? So
bathrooms.
What's the beer prices? Same as inside?
$15 for the mega tall can. Like it's double wide. And
Okay.
Yeah, that's
double
the
tall.
1
I was
liter
actually,
ones.
I was actually surprised it wasn't more.
I don't think that's a good idea though on a hot evening because you finished half of it and it's warm as the one I'm drinking.
You
now.
used to play Edward 40 hands, and now listen to you.
I didn't
You're
like it.
gentrified.
I'm not saying I like a
You
cold.
used to drink two
in my
40s,
old
duct
age,
tape
my
to your
refined
hands.
palate.
You gotta
likes a
drink it
nice,
fast,
crisp,
bro.
cold.
So the vibes in the Moss Pit were good?
Vibes in the Moss Pit were good. Yeah, there's a lot of fun. I mean, that first goal went in, and everybody just was electric from there. So
Yeah.
a lot of chanting. Voices
How's
of
the legs
Oilers.
from standing the whole time?
I was kind of like Baggedmilk and just doing the floating around. So I mean, I was constantly in motion. I felt like so. Legs are a little tired just from walking. That's
Is it just like shoulder to shoulder in there?
in the center? Yes, yeah, you're pretty tight in there, but you can easily like. It wasn't as packed as I expected.
And how's the viewing? Is the screen too high like a lot of people
They got
claimed
many
my
screens,
TV
though.
screen on my wall was last night? And your neck gets cramped?
No, but the sound was off for the
You
first.
need a 40 or two.
Why? What do you mean?
The sound was like 2 minutes behind for the first period, and then they finally got it synced up.
Oh.
So that was a little
I
tough.
would have just muted it.
We need a new arena.
That would have frustrated. I almost would have left.
The
Straight up,
escalator
gone
was
to a bar.
broken going in. We need a new arena.
The big tall one?
Yeah, game
Yes,
three.
it's been broken for a couple games actually. Like,
It's like the
When it's
biggest
that
escalator in the
long
Western
and it has
world.
to move that much weight. Like,
yeah.
And then they say, take a stair in between you. And people are like, ha, the hell I will. And it just was like, we're
So since we're kind of on the topic of vibes for the game last night.
talking about escalator maintenance.
yeah, that's a vibe.
Yeah, but the vibes outside, the vibes inside.
Sure.
Something I noticed that was kind of interesting is obviously in Edmonton, we're all very aware of the fact that our anthem singer stands in the crowd and sings the first part of the anthem, and the crowd
And
sings
you
the rest
hate
of
it.
it. I love it. I don't want them to cheer. Tell me it wouldn't be better if it was seamless. No cheering. Think about it. Anybody that's against me,
Everyone
doesn't know what
watched
I'm
the
talking
game
about.
in silence.
That's God. You don't know what I'm saying, do you? When you sing the verse and then there's a cheer in between each verse, it breaks it up. If it was just a clean sing the whole time and then huge cheer at the end, it would have more
Chalmers,
impact.
we're trying to get riled up, not fucking win
But
American.
We won World War II.
Okay, well, you want to get more riled
Sing
up?
it how we want, son.
Last night, I'm sitting at home, and I like to be on Twitter during the game, just as a lot of us do, and it's a lot more fun when the Oilers are winning. Yeah. But I was absolutely surprised by how many people that are very famous and popular, and what big entities like ESPN were picking up the vibe, the anthem singer. It became a kind of
all the breaks in between and all the disruption.
No, that's just for the purists. That's just for the people that know what they're talking about. People like ESPN, they're just look at the atmosphere here. Guy in the crowd, it's electric. Edmonton is killer. Urkel. Right? And I loved it. I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was being amplified on social media. And
so then you're mad for people providing a vibe in the building? I'm confused.
No, yeah, okay. Here, let me break it right down for you then. When you sing a song that has 4 verses, okay? And if you sing that song seamlessly, all 4 verses, and then cheer at the end, it's epic. If you sing, and after each verse, it gets broken up and everybody's timing gets screwed up by 10% of the people that cheer at how great they've been for half the song. This
is the weirdest gripe.
We'll watch it together. You will listen to it, and you will
tried
understand.
to point it. We went to the game together, and you tried to point it out to me, and I was just so caught up in the vibe. I didn't even notice.
You know what I'm not feeling right now about singing in the crowd is how I get it. We want a song in Edmonton. Right now, we're song hoes. We'll sing any damn song at the top of our lungs, but we only know a verse and a half because everyone's shit-faced. So now anytime a song comes on, you can hear 800 people be like, this is it. This is the song that we get to sing. But they only know 12 seconds of it.
We need to play more Nickelback.
To my point.
We need to decide what the song is and then don't sing the other song.
It was a moment where you could see that the Oilers playing late, where a lot of maybe really popular American and ESPN, people that don't know, were covering this
There's nothing
team.
else.
And it was, but they were in it. They were, It was awesome. Everybody was tweeting about the Oilers last night. Everybody was watching the game. And there was 2 pretty important basketball games on last night. Yet, people that normally cover basketball were talking about the Oilers game. And that, to me, is the moment when it goes from just being kind of this regional thing to everybody in North America realizing what we got going on here.
2 words, star power. 2 more words, Jaleel White.
Mm-hmm. Also Charles Barkley.
The boost.
Charles,
he's a big NBA guy.
He loves watching the playoffs. He talks.
Of course, Charles Barkley's a big NBA guy.
that should be exciting for Edmonton. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I do have Yeg.
Did you know Charles Barkley used to play in the NBA? Yamchuk? Were you aware?
Yeah.
Do you only know him as an announcer, or
No, I'm familiar with all the NBA championships he won.
Chuck?
And all the
NBA championships? Oh, yeah, there are dozens.
Yeah. Hundreds even.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Has he won one?
He has
No,
not.
he famously is
He's the bitch of the panel.
the best player to never win one.
Yeah.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
Gnarls Barkley?
Yeah.
What did you make of the vibe in the arena? Were you just so pissed off about the way people cheered during the anthem that you couldn't focus?
Well, I wasn't in the arena for Game 4.
Yeah, but you were there for Game 3.
For Game 3, I was. And, I mean, that opening, you said it best a couple weeks ago about how they let the crowd sit in it and just start cheering. And I think Vegas was scared that first little bit.
Well, I was listening to Better Late Than Never yesterday and tell them about your encounter with some Vegas Golden Knights fans that traveled up for Game 3.
Oh, yeah. Game 3, I sat next to a Golden Knights fan and his wife. His name was Greg. They were lovely. So Saturday, the game was 5-1 Oilers. They were at a pub watching it, left after the first period when it was 4-rip Oilers, went straight to McCarran Airport or whatever it's called these days.
Henry Reid or Harry Reid now.
Something like that.
McCarran, bad guy.
Flew to Edmonton, stayed at the Matrix Hotel. I know all the details. Went in for Game 3 and then popped back home yesterday. They were arguably some of the nicest people I've just sat and bullshitted with at a game. They loved the atmosphere. They thought it was incredibly loud at Rogers Place, louder than in Vegas, which I agree with, but I'm biased. And they also talked about how it's great when Canadian teams go down there because it just adds a completely different flavor into the arena because people are cheering for the away goals. People are cheering for the home goals, and they just got used to it. And they also confirmed what we experienced in LA, that it's just shitty going to LA games and interacting with their fans.
Yeah. So they think that the Oilers fans were very respectful. Was that?
Yeah, they were great. Like everybody around was just kind of playful and having fun with them, and then they were just really nice people. And it was cool that they got that view of our city. Like when Brossoit went down and everybody stood up, they go, "Oh, cow!" Everybody's plotting for the other goalie that's just got hurt. Like this is the most Canadian thing ever.
It's LB, baby.
It was great.
We have a PhD in that poor guy being hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point. He does go down a lot. But last night, big win.
What a drip of empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? He does tend to get injured. That's going to haunt him when he's older, that knee.
Darnell Nurse, 1-game suspension held up. Seems like bullshit to me.
Oh, man, that just did not seem like an instigator to me. It did not. It was
both
such
wanted to
bullshit
go.
they called it. Like, he was like kind of the third man in on that, but like Hague turned and dropped.
But if he knows the rule, if he's a little bit more aware of the surroundings and the timing, he goes over there, gives him a hit on the shin pads, gets him to get out of there, and instead of
to
just
make it
basically
very
grab
distinct.
him, to make it very distinct, because he went in as a third man and just grabbed him out of that little scrum that he was in, and that is as clear as the letter of the law.
The real atrocity there that goes missed was the roundhouse elbow Fogle gave Hague while that transition from...
Is that what caught him?
I don't know, but you see his head pop back, and next thing you know, he's got Darnell there, and he's... So
that had been brewing all
sequence.
game. I'm glad that they got it out of their system.
It's funny how much they've been targeting Pietrangelo.
Why not?
Well, I get it. Like they should. They also should be really working on Stone, but...
Well, they were. Didn't you see Yamo's cross-check in front of the net?
Yeah, that was
I don't know
pretty
how
dirty.
that wasn't a penalty.
I don't get that either. That was really dirty.
Yeah, I don't want them to call penalties on the Oilers, Jay. That's not what I'm saying.
No. Oh, no.
But
Sorry, I wasn't reacting to
okay.
that.
I thought you were like, no, I'm not trying to nitpick that. I just was like, oh, we're getting one. And the play moves up the ice. We have the puck, and I'm like, wait, what? We just got away with that?
Yesterday, we talk about like makeup calls and stuff. Yesterday was the makeup game.
Makeup game.
For
huge.
sure.
Yeah. Because
Kane's hit on Pietrangelo too.
Kane's hit on Pietrangelo.
I thought he was getting a penalty right then.
Yeah. That was an awkward one. Because I think Pietrangelo was turning kind of into the boards. And do you see his face kind of slide down the boards like that? But let's not gloss past this. Like, if Darnell Nurse got 1 game for that, I was thinking that maybe after listening to the guys in there that they would rescind that one, give Pietrangelo 1. Easiest thing they said last night on the broadcast was just to keep them both at 1, but that is not fair. That was an intent to injure. That was way after the fact. A slash on the leading scorer in the playoffs right now. It was way after the fact, and it was so malicious that there's no chance that shouldn't be 2 games now, in my opinion.
Was it as malicious as Leon missing the net there?
Okay, but so do you think that Pietrangelo was
bet.
mad because at 4-1, you see Leon get the puck, and he turns it into overdrive, like to try to get.
He wanted it. He knew I had the 2 points.
I don't know if he's thinking of the record or like what he's
Hall
thinking
of Fame, man.
But
German Hall of Fame.
I don't know if that drove Pietrangelo over. It was just a body of work frustration for how much shit he was taking that game.
Like for you to like tomahawk is like you're like, I am gonna tomahawk that guy. Like you that doesn't happen naturally. So
I couldn't believe that that's what he did.
I
He swung from the fences on that one.
Like if you would have 2-hand him in the shin, that's different. Like I would have been like, okay, 2 minutes.
On
whatever.
TV, the camera work after the puck goes into the other corner, they're kind of just out of view, so you don't really see what happens, but you hear the crowd go crazy. When they showed it on the replay, I was fucking shocked.
I was
how
stunned.
late it was.
Because that happened right in front of us. We were cheering for the empty netter because I had over 5.5 and the Oilers to win. Misses, and then Pietrangelo comes in from 30 feet and just chops him. Outrageous play.
Did you like, Captain, how Leon handled it afterwards, though?
I mean, he's classy. He's the classiest guy there is. He's like, don't worry about me, sitting at the bench even. I'm like... skating by them and saying, I don't care. Like, I don't care that you did it. Getting in the bench, basically... trying to get Costin's attention to be like, don't do anything. I'm fine. That's and like Connor going in there.
Loved it.
I loved it too. I'm glad he got the fuck out of it though. The minute the lines, he wanted out.
This morning, I'm glad. In the moment, I was like, Connor should have gone. Just dropped him and gone at him. That would have been great.
So the minute that he showed the intent, he got over there, he engaged.
Teammates were
but
a
once
little
the line,
slow.
A little slow. But the minute the linesman engaged, you saw Connor pulling out because nothing good happens in those scrums. Like a tweak. We just don't need that shit. So I'm glad he got out.
Speaking of throwing one after the linesman came in, Nick Hague also got a cheap one in on Darnell when the linesman came and broke it up, and Hague reached over the linesman and popped it one more time, and that's what had Nurse kind of laughing, right? It's like, oh, really? You're going to do that?
Hague's a big dude, man.
Big guy.
Like, they said he's got the reach advantage, and it wasn't until they kind of both were standing up, getting ready to throw, that I realized how much bigger he was than Darnell. But it was so funny to see, like, Hague's got the upper hand first, but then Darnell comes back, some good uppercuts, goes to the body shot, learns from Ken, tees him up with a body shot.
The body's open. Take it.
Yeah.
That leads me to a question, I guess. TGIF on ABC back in the day with Family Matters. Remember when they did the Urkel dance?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that episode where they cleared out all the furniture? Like they were having a dance in the house.
Is this Stefan or
and then
Steven?
No, it was Steve.
Urkel,
there was an Urkel dance. And they like rolled it out. And I remember watching this as a kid, like, if I just keep at it, one day I too will have a dance and we will move all the furniture in my house. That show freaked me out because remember when they wrote the kid out of the show? They had a little daughter, Judy.
I was going to say the girl, right?
Yeah.
And then they had like the off season, where they all go and play for other teams. And they came back to the Family Matters show and she wasn't part of the show. And I remember as a little kid just being like, if I didn't come down for breakfast in the morning, would it be like this family where they just wouldn't talk about me?
Well, that's a risk
again?
when you have kids in a show and then they start to grow. That they're in the show because they're cute. They don't really have many lines, but now all of a sudden they're getting older and maybe they're not as good of an actor as they're progressing as they should be. I mean, I don't want to name names, but Modern Family, I think, might have had that problem.
That immediately popped into my head.
Modern Family.
Well, with Lily.
Girl.
Lily's like brutal in that show.
She was super cute, but and then she just got older, but she just never really got to the comfort of acting.
See, the Olsen twins
very evident.
The Olsen twins were able to stay 4 years old for 4 years just because they were determined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lily didn't
And
have
they
that.
could swap. Oh,
So in Family Matters
I just
back in
thought
the day,
that
it
was
was just
Lily.
no union,
I was never offended by Lily.
It's like a pretty like common internet thing.
You
to
always
hate
use
that
these
character,
words like offended, like we're offended by her. No, we're just calling a spade, saying that maybe she didn't grow into her role as well as she could have.
Yep.
All I wanted you to do was remember the Urkel dance, and you've yelled at the child
don't. I
actor
mean, I don't know
for
how
5
you do.
minutes.
Like, what the
I
fuck
just-
are we doing?
Well, we remember. We're having a good time.
well, talking about right now, the
If
daughter
anybody
from the
can
show.
get up and do that Urkel dance right now,
but it's like
it's kind of like a Backstreet's Back type dance.
It's a lot of thrusting. You
Yeah.
might get canceled.
You don't
for
remember how
trying.
to do the Urkel? Then Maya, the hottie, was like to the left. She was trying to wheel Steve for like 7 consecutive seasons.
no, I don't remember.
What were you doing on Friday nights as a child if you weren't watching this
Boy
romantic?
Meets World.
Oh,
part of TGIF.
Top notch.
Yeah, it was.
I love Boy
I feel like there isn't
What was the
programming
one
like
with
that
Patrick
anymore.
Duffy and Suzanne Summers? Family.
Oh no,
With Cody.
Cody.
My Two Dads.
No. No. Baggedmilk? Oh. No, you have the internet. Could you do me a favor?
Patrick Duffy sitcom. That's all you gotta do.
Patrick
And
Duffy
Suzanne
sitcom,
Summers.
Yeah. Patrick,
Time
sex tape.
Master.
Sex tape.
Step by step. Damn it.
One of the best. And then the one child actor did something bad outside the show.
Cody.
They're just like, this show's over. And that was the end of the show.
Yeah, the cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the star of the show got arrested. And they're like, and that's the end of that.
The thing that I was offended that they pulled off on us without even addressing.
Offended. Chalmers, you must be offended.
Very offended. I was actually
Yeah,
offended.
no, he is-
offended.
No, when I mean it when I say it. Just the swap of Aunt Viv.
Disrespectful.
Oh yeah, she tried to play hardball.
Yeah.
And they just
No one's bigger than the show, man.
I know, but just like that took me at least a full season to adjust to. You just pulled the rug out.
Very rarely
these
does that
shows, right,
work.
Captain? Are you the same age as? Well, I guess there's a wider range of ages in this room.
Well, your M-Check's 51
Closer to
years
PM,
old.
yeah. Okay.
Didn't somebody get swapped out on MASH?
Oh God, that show ended before I was alive. I think.
What? No.
I don't know.
Well, I was on the it was on when we were
three
little.
of you the same age?
Hawkeye's right hand
No,
man.
I'm a year older than both. of them.
Honeycutt.
Honeycutt.
Is he two different actors?
He was two different actors.
There you go.
He
Ah,
was
we did
two-
it.
He was like a tight curly hair guy,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
other kind of long hair guy.
That's right. They had to get rid of the first guy.
Yeah.
Thinks he's bigger than the show. You were not bigger than the
They
show.
want to do a solo act.
You're out.
Okay.
Same thing happened in Power Rangers. I don't know if you guys
With which one? And the old one?
how would you know?
the originals. They
Who got swapped?
which
one?
Well, they didn't get swapped. They just basically they floated off into space or whatever. But like 3 of them, the Zach, the Black Ranger, Trini, the Yellow Ranger, and Jason, the Red Ranger.
Yeah, wasn't the Red Ranger up to bad stuff?
He is now. He just got like arrested for
Him and
like,
Cody.
COVID
Probably
fraud or
doing
something
stuff.
like
COVID
that.
fraud.
COVID
Wow.
fraud, dude.
Come
He
on.
took COVID payments or something. I don't know.
No. COVID
Hilarious.
fraud.
Oh, is
COVID
that
fraud's
news?
hilarious.
No, just
Is
like
that
that's just.
Pietrangelo?
No, there's a bus on the street outside that can't get by because a U-Haul's blocking it.
Oh, God.
So if
my truck in the way?
Shit, that's my truck.
really?
Well, my car's right there. Yeah.
All right, so Wanye is gonna go move his car.
I get the mic back.
Oh, yeah, that is Wanye's. Okay, good. That's not my truck. All right,
So now we've got the whole office watching outside. We've got an ETS
So-
bus that is waiting to leave. Wanye
they are
is
tight
now
streets down here.
running
I noticed
down
that
the
coming
street.
down here.
Captain Phone, what do you think of our new studio?
I love it. Honestly, you guys did such a good job, and I love all the little intricate details.
Like the old
Especially
Rexall Place beer prices.
Yes,
There's Easter eggs
or
galore.
Section 134, or Tyler
Signed by Nuge.
getting punched by that Golden Knight fan
Yep.
in the air. That one's great.
You didn't like my my version of that picture and what I thought was happening.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, it was. Well, I just replied to your tweet. No big deal. Okay. Guess you don't check it.
I don't have you followed. Sorry.
You bum. So, anything else from the game last night? Anything else that you even think
Nuge?
about?
Nuge goal.
Yes.
Oh,
I was so happy for you.
I was happy. Man, so many people were happy for me. Like I scored. I was happy for me because I went a little heavy on that one.
He went your rim chuck heavy.
I heard.
I don't normally do that. I was manifesting.
Yeah.
Well, we were with Uncle Kerry, and we were drinking some, I don't know which wine we were drinking.
He
to
dedicated a
manifest.
wine. Yeah, he dedicated a wine to Nuggy.
We were manifesting, so I had to ride on it.
Well, as I posted, I really didn't like the way they played in Game 3, and I'm a little bit of a superstitious person, and the Messier jersey, I just received this Nuge jersey. I hadn't really had a chance to wear it for a game yet, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to switch it up, and let's see what happens. And so far, so good. I gotta say, I think it's my new jersey for the rest of
Let's go.
the playoffs. Because
I also wore mine last night.
yeah, beautiful.
It came through. Came through.
I wore my Eck home. He delivered.
That shot
That's
was
his trademark goal.
fantastic.
How pumped Connor was for Nuge to bury that is
Yeah.
got to be one of my favorite things from
Yes.
the game last
Yeah.
night.
I also like that it was a vintage Nuge goal from
Yep.
like the release, where he put it, the celebration. It was all vintage Nuge.
Little leg up.
Yeah.
You could tell just like watching the
relieved.
replay when I got home last night, just the relief to have that go in.
Because we saw like earlier in the game, like Nuge would like come within with a puck and do something that's
He
so
passed
like
when he normally would have shot.
Oh,
Nuge,
dude, when he was
what are you
coming-
doing, dude?
When he was going in on like a 2-on-1 or something, and he kind of went in between passing it and shooting it.
Yes.
Like kind of
Yes.
didn't even make a play and lost
Yes.
it.
That just
And I
tells you he's in his head.
Oh man, he's just gripping it. He's just gripping it right now.
Yeah.
So really glad he could get that monkey off his back because we're gonna need him.
Absolutely. Did you see that little video this morning?
Of
They
the
showed
cake?
with the cake with McDavid and Draisaitl.
I haven't had a
rolling
chance
it
to
in?
watch it yet. I've been
Oh, the
tagged in.
smiles
it.
on their
What is the cake?
faces.
What is the cake for?
100 points.
When he got 100 points, they had a cake brought into the dressing room presented by McDavid and Draisaitl. Here, I'll show you. And it is like, I was expecting just like a little Dairy Queen
Yeah.
ice cream cake. They got like Cake Boss guy.
Oh,
I think,
nice.
to make
Yeah.
this fucking cake.
There's an oil rig on it.
Yeah, like here, you'll see it. We're watching it in the studio. So for people who are confused by maybe a little bit of silence.
Oh,
Dude,
that is
that is a big
that's
cake.
a legit cake.
And like watching
And he had to eat it all that night.
Oh man.
the way McDavid and Draisaitl were smiling as they wheeled it over there too, like
Just the fellow Centurions.
that was
Welcome
really
to the
cool.
club.
When's the
Love
last
that.
time there were 300-point men in one room? That wasn't my fault with the bus, by the way.
No,
No, it's U-Haul.
It was the U-Haul's fault, but I was blocking it, but I was allowed to park there. The U-Haul isn't. And then I said to the bus driver, "Am I a hero?" And he said, "No." Then I ran back.
Did you actually ask him that?
Yeah. I said, "Sorry, don't mind the way here. Is this my fault?" He's like, "No, it's a U-Haul truck." I said, "Well, good thing I came over here." "Yeah, good thing." "Am I a hero?" "No."
No. I like him
Cool.
saying just flat out no, yeah.
Cool.
Hard
story.
no.
Could you drive me to the bridge so I could jump off?
Yeah. Still waiting for that update on Pietrangelo. What do you guys think is going to happen?
It better be 2 games.
At least.
That's the thing.
yeah, I
gonna
want
be
one, especially with Nurse. I want two.
Then
now.
it's BS.
I think so, yeah. It's
I
pretty
feel like
wild.
they should have appealed the instigator call.
I think they did. Like it automatically gets reviewed. There is no appeal process.
But in the statement, like, doesn't it say like he's like because it's an automatic suspension, he's suspended? Like, don't they use the word automatic?
Yeah,
the
automatically.
statement?
Yeah, but if they wouldn't have put out that statement if they hadn't reviewed it. Like they would have put the statement saying after review, Darnell Nurse's automatic 1-game suspension.
It's tough to overturn.
If you're
I know
Vegas
that.
Golden Knights Nation and you're doing a podcast today, what are you talking about
The Oilers
their
are mean.
stars are not doing anything in those games.
Every other night they're not.
I had someone ask me yesterday. They go, "Hey, what's up with William Karlsson? He's not playing, hey?"
Oh, he's definitely playing.
I'm like, "Oh, he's out there. He's just,
Yeah.
It's hard to notice."
I know Stone's injured, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because obviously he's a gamer. Jack Eichel, I mean, the bum. He made us pay last game with a nice
he's been
goal.
good. Marchessault's
we
we
woke up last game.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. If I'm a Vegas Golden Knights fan, I'm saying, hey, we have home ice advantage and it's 2-2 and we've been the better team twice. So why are we worried?
Yeah.
But the reasons they should be worried is that Nuge is maybe waking up a little bit. You know, Leon Draisaitl only had 1 point last game. He hasn't scored in a couple games now. Like, there are things kind of trending. Also, Aiden Hill is not LB. And that's saying something because LB is not even a guy who can steal you a series by any means. So, I don't know. I'd be pretty worried if I was a Golden Knights fan just with the goaltending alone.
Well,
almost.
I'd just be worried if the Oilers can actually put 2 games together.
Are we happy to see how Hyman played with a prospective Charlie horse that he might have gotten?
He showed
Game
some
3?
vintage Hyman a couple times in the game, which is very promising.
When he was on the ice, the Vegas Golden Knights did not get a shot at 5-on-5.
Is that good?
When Hyman was on the ice, the shots were 9-0 Oilers. That top line was actually really good. Give you some stats powered by Boston Pizza and their new Fanalytics menu, which you should be trying while you're here.
Absolutely.
Good
That
job.
and a stop at Riddle Noodle.
Yeah, I know, but when in Rome,
Yeah, fair. It's better in Edmonton.
hit up the Ice District one. That's the famous one.
Have they changed the name yet to Custom
It's
Pizza?
coming. It's coming.
How many
Anyways.
rounds do they expect us to go? Wait a minute, this is good.
Yeah. With McDavid, Nuge, and Hyman on the ice at 5v5, those three, the shots were like 8-0 Oilers. Like, those three dominated. I thought that fourth line with Ryan.
Awesome.
Derek Ryan doesn't make mistakes. He just goes
He's
out there,
so
makes
good.
the simple plays, gets off the ice. It's awesome. But they had
And McLeod, too.
Yeah, McLeod was great. They had their 4 lines all played more than 4.5 minutes together as a collective. And you go back to earlier in the series, and they were having as many as 10 combinations play at least a minute together in every game. Last game, there were just the 4. So going 12-6 seemed to really pay off for Woodcroft.
Well, we won't have a choice next game, so
no doubt.
What do you do next game? Some people were saying maybe you dress Nima Leinen so you lessen the workload on Broberg, or do you just run Broberg with Ceci? Do you run Kulak and Ceci, Broberg with Desharnais as a third pairing? I think you go Kulak, Ceci, Ekholm, Bouchard, and just play the hell out of them.
Ekholm's gonna have to play a lot. Like, that's a big
5 minutes for the third pair. 7 minutes. Like, what do you mean?
Depends how the game's going. Like,
That's
Vinny Desharnais played 16 and a half minutes last game, 40 seconds on the power play. Like, game's a blowout, you can just play Vinny for the last half of the third, right? If the game's not a blowout, if that's a 2-1 game in the third
half,
right? Like, you got to cut the bench down at some point. But I've liked Broberg in the playoffs. I have no problem with him.
I was also excited to see how happy the crowd was to see Janmark back. He got applauses when he
blocked that shot.
When he blocked the shot.
Yep.
And then he was on the ice for the first goal. I think he had a little bit to do with it, helping get it in deep. And then
Did make me laugh though when Connor McDavid deked out everyone on the ice, including Matthias Janmark.
Yes.
Okay, but also
that was disgusting.
Connor, shoot the damn puck, please.
Yeah, he probably
You're a 60 goal scorer. Shoot the damn puck.
Baggedmilk, I'm looking at the article that you write while we do this podcast, and I don't see mention of Steve Urkel. Not Real Life podcast. Oilers dominant in Game 4.
Definitely embed
TV
the,
character
Urkel
swaps.
dance.
Alex Pietrangelo. Should be called Steve Urkel podcast. Shows up at an Oilers game tonight. What will he do tomorrow?
There's no way he stays for another. Like, he's gone.
I don't know why he was here to begin with. Maybe this weirdo mission he's on is a month long.
So we're back to Vegas Friday. We cannot keep going on this roller coaster of one game we play well, one game we don't.
Then we win in 7.
Physically, we are not going back to Vegas, though. Big shout out to AMA Travel anyways, because, if you wanted to go for Game 5, they could probably find a way to get you there. That's the magic AMA Travel can pull. But we are staying put for Game 5 and throwing our big party at Greta.
Hell yeah.
Night. Are you coming, Charles? I know Jay says he's still fighting it from our trip to Vegas, so he won't be there. But
yeah, no, I right now I am 50-50, but more on the line of not coming. I'm gonna have
to drink for 3. Darn.
Yep.
The captain will be there.
The captain will be there.
I was gonna say, how much longer are you in town for?
We fly out Saturday morning at 7 a.m., so it's going to be...
You're kind of getting close to super fan status a little bit, hey?
Like when we were hanging out in the intermission, Banjo guy wanted to pick with you.
Yeah.
How about Stuart? How about Air Canada flight staff?
That too. I met a flight attendant yesterday, and she ended up giving me a little Air Canada pin to add to the collection.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
hat's gonna get heavy though if you keep accepting.
Oh yeah,
pins.
oh yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna get a neck brace next. That'll be the next little bit.
Neck pillow, actually.
Yes. Even better.
Good touch.
I got a Canadian one I can lend you.
So you're coming to Greta, so people can
be at
see you in
Greta.
your full captain gear.
Yes.
Love
Absolutely.
that. BM, are you coming? BM gave a thumbs up because Wanye is holding the mic right now.
Wanye, are you coming?
Oh yeah, I'll be right there. You can count on it. I'll be
What do
playing
you
the
do for
little
away
basketball
games?
game.
Where have you been watching all the
I
games?
watch them and do all the social media.
At home. Nice.
I usually
television.
interact with
There's a
Wanye.
child around.
I interact with
usually.
Wanye.
A small one who looks like me, running around, living his life, try to keep him from falling down a flight of stairs or into a carburetor. That's most of my away games.
Nice.
The little hands.
Fair enough. Well, Captain, thanks for hopping on for the first half of the pod.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, Greta.
Thanks for the donuts.
Hey, no
yeah,
problem.
the donuts were unbelievable. And you brought in your dog.
Yes.
Who you just trusted with our staff outside?
Who is not a donut?
No.
I think the captain and I are going to be watching the game together in Vancouver on Sunday.
Let's do it. Absolutely. Black Frog, everybody.
Let's go.
Is that the spot in Van? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they actually have bleachers.
It's an
and
Edmonton bar.
everything.
They
Yes.
serve green onion cakes.
One more thing for the captain before he leaves.
Okay.
Long time ago, you became my hero for being on my favorite game show of all time. Family Feud,
Canada.
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 You don't like the American one. Do you think they're too sassy?
Oh, Steve Harvey is the absolute GOAT, no cap. He, the GOAT, no
We
cap.
watched so much Steve Harvey
Oh my
in
God.
Vegas.
It
It
is
was awesome.
the best. Okay. I said I would love to do it. You told me exactly how to do it. I have a real follow-through problem in things like this, and therefore
recurring
I
problem.
need a guy. Now, you told me that they need to make a video. You need to make a family video.
Yes.
I saw your playoff hype video, and I loved it.
Thank you.
And so, you want to be my guy?
Oh, maybe. I
Get
can
me
do
on
that.
the show.
I can do my
I just
best.
need.
You have a good family for it.
I've got a great
There's
family.
a lot
for
of
it.
characters.
Honestly, you should definitely use your wife's clout.
Who's the fifth character?
Well,
Will she be allowed though? Is she okay? Like, are they going to release her
I
rights
think
and
so.
image?
I think
Oh, yeah,
so.
because she's a global
It's a
employee
whole
on a...
thing.
I mean, I think so.
They're always up in arms about their image.
See, that's the thing. I got home and I told her about this, and she's like, "I wonder if that would be." And then that was like the one roadblock for me to go. Okay, I'm gonna get back to work.
She'll just wear a global Edmonton T-shirt on the show.
Is she down to divorce you for 48 hours?
See, my family. The one thing you'll know about my family, and Jay knows this, and Wanye from hanging out with me, is we don't really care who's around. We'll make it weird. We'll argue, and like,
I'm not worried about that. It's going to be entertaining.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But, so who's the
We don't-
fifth member? Who's
well-
the fifth you're bringing?
Well, who do you think the four are?
Wouldn't be you. Oh,
me and my
you
wife.
wouldn't be- you don't bring the kids, right? They're
No.
too young?
No,
you have to be
my
18.
brother Dean has to come.
Oh, dude.
My oldest brother Dean,
Just
who is a
rip
pilot
on
for Air Canada.
Desinger, right?
Yeah.
Dean's the know-it-all, so he would come to be like, I've got the answer, like to try to do the steal, and he'd be
He's a
so
pilot.
wrong.
yeah.
Can
Oh,
you
my
imagine?
He'd be so wrong.
My sister Desi would be pure comedy. She'd be great on the show. And I think my brother, I think
Jared knows a lot of shit. He's a genuine
I'm just
smart
wondering if
guy.
Aaron's side of the family would want to get in on this.
Of course.
If she can't have her image released, Chalmers,
you
you're gonna
can't
have to
really do that.
You have to cut her if
So-
she can't get her image released.
Well,
That's true.
Cut
Want
her
to be
from-
my guy? I'll give you 10% of our winnings, and trust me, we'll go 3 days.
Okay. All right. I love it. I went 3 days as well, but
What was the haul? Can you say, or they
I
shoot
can
you?
tell you after. So,
Aw.
well, I didn't win. We didn't win the big money. We went to the fast money 3 times and lost. My mom actually had the lowest score ever.
Oh, mom.
It just got beat this year.
Oh,
so
good.
I
Good
was
show.
happy about that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think we ended up only with like $300 left, or each of us, because we got a check in the mail. And I was like, oh, is this a scam? I'm like, what the hell? Open it up. I was like, oh, perfect. So about like $300.
It's about the
split 5
experience.
ways. Absolutely.
But you get like per diem when you're down there, and stuff, right? Like, it's
yeah,
a bit
you
of an
get, and you get
experience.
per diem. Yeah, you get per diem. You get the flights, accommodations.
That's
Everything.
pretty-
But you guys did it perfectly because you were dressed similar all 3 days, which takes some planning. I mean, it all takes
We have
planning.
you have to send everything in. They have to approve everything. Actually, it was 2 years to the day, like Mother's Day coming up, that we actually sent our video in.
Was there ever a part in the you getting to do this that you were just like, this is too much, I just don't want to do this anymore? Or was it just like easy
No,
for you?
it was just one of those things where it's just like, the excitement. I mean, I was scared shitless. I mean, you go up there, you're in there, like got all the lights on and everything. You're just like so stoked, and you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And then the producers are there for a reason.
No, I'm more meaning like the build up to actually getting on the show, where they're like, okay, send in all your outfits, and you're like, oh, I got to get my 5 family together to take pictures.
No. You just get them to take pictures of their stuff. It
sounds like I found my guy.
There you go. All right, I'll set you up.
You've promised them $30 as payment.
Exactly. See, 10% of the winnings.
10% of 300 is not enough for the captain's time.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. You're gonna be my guy. We're gonna work on this together.
You gotta do this, Chalmers.
It's one of my. It's if I don't do it, it'll be. I don't give a shit about bungee jumping. I don't want to skydive. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to be on Family Feud.
Canada.
Yeah,
you got this.
Done.
Then do it. I got my guy now, so it's gonna get done.
What if we applied as Team Oilers Nation?
Do they do that, or do you have to be a family? No, because they do like.
They might. They do a couple celebrity things, but no, it's usually with their families. And
Celebrities.
Yeah, we're not there.
Yeah, not quite. All right. Once we get more than 8
Okay, we're gonna take this serious from this moment forward.
You need to take this seriously.
Captain.
Oh, I see the two of you.
You quit drinking Red Bulls, you can do anything, Chalmers.
That's true. He didn't quit though. He just pours them in a cup now.
Darn. Captain, see you Friday?
Yes. I'll
Okay,
see you guys
thanks for
Friday.
hopping on.
Thank you.
All right, big shout out to Captain Felton for joining us on the podcast. What an enjoyable guy to chat with.
Well, and he brought donuts. Like, come on. That is.
How can you not love a guy who brings donuts?
That's what he says last night. He's like, if I can come tomorrow, I'll bring donuts. I'm like, you're in.
Say it less.
Yeah, say less.
Say less.
No cap.
So what's the last 15 minutes gonna be about, Tyler? I'm sure you've got some riveting topics for us to talk about.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Urkel was at the Oilers game.
Steve?
He made a lot of money, man. Don't laugh. Steve Urkel's got it all together.
Well,
It was so funny actually in the building because they're doing the match thing, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like whatever. So then all of a sudden they show Urkel and I was like, oh, and then they show him and not everyone clues in that it's actually Jaleel White. And then they say underneath Jaleel White, aka Steve Urkel, and then the building was like, ah!
It's bizarre. Like Louis DeBrusque, when they first showed him, he's like, Urkel got jacked. That was his first comment. It was funny.
I also love there's like this weird thing in the social media algorithms where whenever Waz posts those, the algorithms just like eat it up. Like he posted it on YouTube this morning and it's already got over 1,300. We've had it. I think it's our most watched video ever on the Oilers Nation YouTube account is Waz posting that. Yeah, 1 million views on YouTube.
Of the lookalike on the scoreboard.
Of the lookalike contest. Yeah. I don't know why. They just eats it up. I find it so fascinating.
Waz was very, very happy last night when I sent him that video.
Yeah.
Thrilled about it.
I always watch ones from other rinks when they show up on my timeline.
Really?
I always watch them. I don't know why. I just do. I think it's fun. I like it.
I also don't like knowing that it's a copycat bit. I like thinking it's all, but it all is.
Okay, but you know
Ours is better though.
You know what's not a copycat bit?
Everything you see is fake.
Unless it is.
Interrupting the anthem?
No, the reverse eating that they used to do at the Oil Kings.
Those are great. So
they
good.
gotta get back.
I don't
to
know
that.
why they don't do that over this game.
A person pulling a whole piece of pizza out of their mouth because they took it down in 4 bites.
Reverse chugging a beer.
Or a foot long, or reverse chugging a beer, like they're spitting it out.
It's
absolute best.
That was appointment viewing. Like that was the best.
Do you remember the season where they took the Oilers out to Capitol Raceway and they had them like in convertibles racing cars for the pregame show?
So long ago, yeah.
Do you remember that though?
That was like Smitty was in it.
Yeah, and like LaRock was in like a T-Bird convertible and shit. Why don't they do stuff like that anymore, man? That was the shit. Their team photo that one year, they're all sitting on bays of hay, dressed like cowboys.
I don't remember that.
Well, you're too young.
I know.
But the pregame video, I wonder where that would be on. That'd be good to see.
Would be good to pull
It's
up
in a
again.
vault somewhere.
BM's Betway account is nice and flush today. Me and you just
it's so funny. I bet on the
Draisaitl missing that.
bet on the Oilers to win. I had 2 bets. I lost $100 last night, and the Oilers won because I'm chasing it. I should have just said. I was saying Oilers in regulation, and I chased it. I chased it.
I had Nuge goal at plus 244.
And you went heavy.
I went your check on it.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Well, I am too. Came through.
At the same time, if that's what it took for the Oilers to win, I will happily pay that price.
Mm-hmm.
The bets manifest it. Ain't
That's
that
right.
the truth?
Because you went to the game with JR last night, I heard you had your first ever McChicken, like a Mac.
Yes, I did.
Or was it? I thought it was a double cheeseburger.
Double
Double
cheeseburger.
cheeseburger like a Mac.
Yeah, it was good. I would do it again.
Oh,
It's
I thought
essentially-
you got a McChicken. Oh no, they were selling McChickens like a Mac. Yours is a double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just really missing the bread in the middle.
Yeah, it's
Pretty much.
and no sesame seeds.
Yeah, it was fine.
I mean, it sounds like a Big Mac.
Yeah, it was fine.
Sounds like how I used to get clubhouses. You know,
Yeah.
you always ask if it says, "Is it a triple decker?" Take that middle bread out. Let's.
You don't need it.
Stop
I
messing
don't need
around
that.
here.
Yeah.
You really don't need it.
You don't. Need
It is unnecessary.
It is a
It was
waste of
a
bread.
sandwich invented by Big Bread to
Yeah.
sell more bread.
Because like that middle layer just gets squished and it's
It's
soggy.
trying to keep it all together from sliding around.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
It's trying to act as like the
That's what the
it always
toothpick in
wants
the
to
like a
go
top
load bearing
through
bit
the
of
thing
bread,
is.
you know?
load bearing piece.
So I gotta have the toothpick.
Yeah, it was
fair
fine.
enough.
Then you eat the toothpick.
Would
One
do
time
again.
I did when
Just
I was
keep moving
little.
it.
One time when I was little, I bit into a sandwich at like a old people party my grandparents took me to, and I got like part of the toothpick stuck under my gum.
Gross.
And I was like, I will never eat one of those little trays of sandwiches. But then I did because they're delicious.
What are you rocking? What's the
My jersey?
Yeah.
Team Mexico goalie jersey.
hell yeah?
Cool.
I didn't catch on to that.
I would
for the
have
first
never
part of
known
this podcast. That is cool. That's
Thanks,
really
buddy.
cool.
Hey,
Goalies get the best jerseys.
Goalies get the best style. Period. In
I just
Mexico's
want to
the
wear those
shit.
fun gloves.
yeah.
You know?
I'm back playing rec league soccer again, and I had my first game last night right before the Oilers game, and I'm hurting today. It is physical and it's a lot of running.
Oh, the running,
As
man.
someone who talked a lot of shit about that sport growing up, I take it all back. It is
It's
a
a tough
physical
sport
game.
to play.
At 27 years old, no, 24, 27. I can never remember.
25.
I blew me.
Oh, you.
I
thought you were
blew
wondering
out
me.
my knee for the first time.
Yeah.
Playing ball hockey.
Yeah.
I was running into the corner to get an iced ball.
Nope.
And I heard a snap, and I felt like somebody had just two-handed me behind the knee. I fell down to my ass, and I looked backwards, and there was nobody there. And it was the single worst pain I've ever been in my life. I got it repaired. It's been pretty good. But speaking of men's rec league, the Stonecutters are
Champions.
three-time champions.
That's how we posted it
Congies,
on
Congies.
Insta.
Saw the
And-
photo on social.
Yeah, so we'd been playing a lot of hockey every 3 days for the last like 3 weeks.
Everyone looks
And,
good.
Yeah, we've been playing well, and I just couldn't go, and so this is the thing, you know, like my knee was just too sore. So it just brings me back to you saying that you play indoor soccer now.
Outdoor.
Outdoor. It doesn't matter. You're running.
So you were on the
At
IR? Is that why you were wearing-
stretch
I
before
need
the
to,
game?
yeah.
Drink lots of water. Stretch. I don't.
Oh yeah, hydration.
If I
so important.
I
for
used to
muscles.
think that shit was so not important back then. Like you're invincible at that age. Man, it comes back to haunt you.
I can feel myself losing the invincibility
Yeah.
as I get a little older. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I was one of those guys that would get like an injury and then would never let it heal properly. You'd always just like, when it started to feel good again, you'd go back with
Yeah.
your life and playing and stuff. Let him heal properly. I'm telling you.
That's fair.
But yeah.
Is
That's
that why
fun.
you were on the ice, but you weren't dressed in the photo?
Yeah, I couldn't. So
IR stuff?
my knee hurt before the second last game.
Yeah, yeah.
And I put a brace on it and I played anyways. And then the next day I was in probably the most amount of pain I've had in my knee since the first. Anyways, so just couldn't go, man. Made a business decision there.
Did you assistant coach from the bench?
I did.
Did you have key insights?
I love the
did.
move of standing on the bench.
What'd
with
you
the
have
boys,
for an
though.
insight? What helped you? What'd you do from the sidelines to help?
Well, at one point the boys were starting to worry a little too much about what the refs were doing. We weren't getting the calls, and just like I say to my
Like the Oilers in Game 3.
11-year-olds and my 9-year-olds, control what you can control.
yeah, rousing
Okay?
speech.
You cannot control the refs, so don't let it slip away. Try to stay in the moment.
You know what the government can control? The weather.
It's hailing. Not here, but in parts of the city.
Oh,
because the government wanted so.
they must because
Yep.
they control the weather.
Definitely. So what are we expecting out of Game 5 Oilers Golden Knights?
I'm trying to scan the internet if there's
So-
a Pietrangelo decision.
There's not. I have player safety's Twitter open.
What I'm expecting is for them to not like
Show up. I expect them to show up.
Yeah, that's 4 games now. They know what it feels like to not have it. I just hope that they've figured out how to find it.
Like Game 6 in LA, they strung two together.
Yeah.
I expect that.
I expect Skinner to play well again. He played really well last night.
That might have been his best game of the playoffs.
Yeah, he looked quicker.
We're also better for him too. Like it's a tandem
Like
thing.
he stopped Eichel on that first power play. That was a beautiful save.
Huge.
He stopped Stone in tight on that
Yep.
partial break. That was
Were you
a
yelling
beautiful
Jackie
save.
Boy, Jay?
Always.
Nice. Take that, Eichel, you
Yeah.
bum.
Jackie boy.
In Game 3, you would see those mistakes, and you would immediately go, "This is one of those mistakes that ends up in the net." And Last night, there wasn't a lot of those.
Nope. I
The
thought
Vinny shovel over the glass. I was like, oh, here we go. That was easily avoidable.
That was dumb. But he made a great play on the Bukestad goal to break up a play and send it the other way. So I thought Vinny had a good game. I thought CC was better.
I'm going to say this because it seems like it's happening now at least once a game. Vinny is due to score.
Oh, man. He's had probably 3 looks this
He's had
series where you're
legit
like, whoa.
chances.
Do you think they have odds on that on Betway?
No.
Nope.
They can't even
Cannot
handicap
find
it.
He falls under the any other goal scorer. That's
Yeah.
usually like plus 900.
Take it.
Just the random.
Betting against the field. It's good. Or betting the field, sorry.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Field
Oilers power play went 1 for 6 in that game too, which was the annoying part of all those late penalties against Vegas.
Yeah.
Is like one, now the stat sheet looks like, oh, the refs all series have been like being good to Edmonton, and then it hurt their power play because Woody was just rolling the second unit out there.
Knowing that we're kind of right at like the halfway there point if we go all the way, we go all the way. How's energy level? Because you two are yawning. I mean, I'm kind of feeling it. It's
Well, the day after, because the game starts so late. Like I didn't fall asleep till like 1 last night.
Did you feel yesterday in just being out in public that people were more positive on game day mornings? I've noticed that on game day mornings, people are more inclined to wave to let you come in on a lane change. You know, it's just
Yeah.
Or is it just
Game
my
day?
own
No.
personal-
I feel it. I feel it. Yep.
A lot more people rocking Oilers gear. Like, you know, you're right. You see someone crossing the street, maybe they're wearing an Oilers hat or an Oilers shirt, and you're kind of like,
Day after a loss, you're probably not stopping at the crosswalk for that family.
also, Jay, you would understand this from the last couple playoff runs, but driving the nation truck on a game day is also
During the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you got to be looking everywhere, waving at people, everyone's smiling at you. It's an experience to cruise around in that bad boy.
Oh my God.
I've been hungover more in the last 2 weeks than I have in quite some time.
Yeah.
3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been.
You just live in an internal fog.
Yep.
You got to learn, just like the players have to learn how to get through it.
I don't remember what it's like to wake up not hungover at this point.
If you're having problems with alcohol abuse, dial 1-800.
Or gambling.
But it's the playoffs, you know?
Playoffs.
That's life. That's playoff
Yeah, so
hockey.
every other night I'm tired. Every other day I'm tired
Yeah.
because the game's late. Unless the game's early, then I'm fine.
Let's look on the bright side of it. You know, like happens once a year if we're lucky.
Oh, that's the whole thing.
Just
Do you know somebody who needs to be forced into rehab? 1-800
That's me.
at gunpoint.
Yep. Yep.
They can't. You're rooting against them moving on because you're like, my body can't take it anymore.
Never.
You could just watch the games and not drink. Nope.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
so just to finish up with hockey. I mean, we've got a series that's tied 2-2 tonight in the Kraken and the Stars.
Go Kraken.
Yeah, I feel the same
Are we
way.
cheering for the Stars? Like we're
There's the
correlated
Dallas
to Stars
curse,
wins?
right?
What?
There's the Dallas curse. We're doing
I
exactly
know.
what they do, right?
But that's due to break at some point. So go Kraken.
Hurricane Devils. We don't really
Devils
care.
That's
That's
this
due to
second round.
break.
Like, let's be honest, we're dialed in because we're Oilers fans. This second round has been an absolute dud for
Really?
if you're
The
be
Florida
casual.
Maple Leafs game
That's been
last
great,
night was
those
not
games.
great.
What?
Was not that
boring.
I've
exciting.
been watching those games. They're fun.
I was watching it too, but it just wasn't that exciting.
And like the series is 3-0, right? So like the Leafs are playing for their lives, and that's great. But like, there's no drama. Speaking of which, there's nothing in the world I want more than for them to lose in Game 7. I want them to climb all the way back and then piss their pants on home ice in Game 7. I think it'd be
Oh,
so
I know.
funny.
On home
The
ice.
best. All the suits are like, what?
But like
And
Dallas, Seattle again, maybe because it's on late. I'm just kind of like, meh. Carolina, Jersey, good Lord, I don't care. I don't know. This round just hasn't been that great.
Unless you bet the over.
Yeah, betting the over's fine.
Yeah, betting the over is electric. We did watch that one game.
Yeah.
I think one of the kids just fell off the chair.
Somebody just hit the deck out there.
I also was wondering if people listening to the pod are going to hear all the thunder.
Probably.
Yeah, there's been a legit
These mics are
storm
good,
that
though.
rolled through the River Valley here.
They're usually pretty good.
Riverdale Thunderstorm?
They're directional, Tyler.
Very directional, yes. Not omnidirectional.
Not omni. Just direct.
Right at you. Right at
Point.
you. Uh-huh.
Point
I was
and shoot.
really hoping to drag this out until we got the Pietrangelo thing, but I don't think we will. I don't know when it's coming.
Gregor just tweeted, don't expect a decision till late evening. Vegas flew home today. Pietrangelo hearing will only occur after they land.
Who is the hearings with these days?
Supreme Court.
Yep.
It's
Judge Judy, I believe.
George Peros.
Peros? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Peros still?
I think Colin Campbell might be in there.
Is this big
Peros is the
throne.
one that
You
upheld
can't
the-
set a
It's,
precedent.
it's automatic suspension if there's a hearing, right?
No, they can find him.
If they don't
Hearing?
suspend
Oh.
him for going after
if Nurse gets suspended and Pietrangelo does not, the whole thing.
Then why aren't we just going out and hacking? Why don't we just send out player A, get Nima line and just to go out there and just slash?
Yeah,
And that's the thing, right?
The
Like,
back of their goaltender's leg. Like why? Like what are we doing here? Like, you're not setting a precedence.
the line Frank said is player safety has to be a deterrent, right? Where like, okay, if the Oilers were to move on, Yanni Hakanpää, the Stars in game 1 can't just be like, oh, this is fucking worth it. Like, and that's why I think it almost has to be 2 for Pietrangelo to be like, you can't do this. Like, never mind a star player, but like, what's going to stop third pairing D-man on some team in the playoffs next year being like, fuck it, game 1, I'm taking out David Pastrnak. I'm going to get a game for it. I don't give a shit. It'll help my team win. Right? That's why I was just blown away with Pietrangelo doing that. I know he was frustrated because
So
And it's him too. Like he's normally like a class act, right?
It's crazy.
But it's like we got to him. Like we have been targeting
I don't
him.
know. I think
and
in the
we
moment,
got to
yeah,
him.
like
Klim got to Theodore early on. That was a game-changing, boneheaded play by Theodore to spear him.
Oh, on the spear.
Yeah, speared him in the old pills.
He slashed him on the hamaconda.
I didn't even think of that joke. Oh, my God.
All right.
Well, anyways, guys, we're all very low on energy. Thank God Captain Felton was here to help us grind through that, eh?
Oh yeah.
I feel fine.
Right.
It feels good to have. I like when people that you really only kind of interact with around the Oilers, you get to see them and just hang out with them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
Cowboy Chris on the pregame show Sunday? You gonna
Cowboy
try?
Chris on the pregame show. It's Mother's Day, and so we are going to softly broach the topic with my lovely
Are
wife.
you going to be able to make it Sunday?
Yeah, because it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific. I should be able to, yeah.
Oh, you have to join virtually?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you going to the Vancouver with the family?
Yes.
Was I not supposed to say that?
I don't know.
No.
Cut it.
Anyways.
No. Yes.
Oh.
Like Crawford won't be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, okay. We'll talk. Anyways, shout out before we go to Oodle Noodle. Head to a Noodle Noodle location around Edmonton and maybe pick up a sticker. Decorate your
stickers?
vehicle with it.
It is definitely a wonton soup day today for me.
Where is the best place to get car flags? Need more. Can you just get them at any, like, for real?
Well, all right. We're going to wrap. Thanks, everybody.
I'm sure
Talk
we
to you
can
Monday.
cross out a Mission 2021 for you.